Hello YouTube, so if you saw today's thumbnail and also been on my community tab and been looking at the community post, you would see that the next fight we would have after my win against Vengeance vs. Godzilla, because I used the red spiral right for him, which is coming soon. We have Maszilla from Maszilla, the YouTuber, who makes Godzilla content and other content. And his Godzilla is extremely powerful. He'll be fighting GXI Godzilla, my Godzilla. But isn't GXI? No, we're using pre-evolved GXI Godzilla from only part 1, not part 2, because that's what's not getting a little bit crazy. But part 1, they're very similar. So we'll go from the stats. From Central vs. Godzilla, from Central vs. Power Scaling video on Family Godzilla Power Scaling, we see that Maszilla is actually close with Massacre Godzilla, and another thing when he said who would win between Massacre, Maszilla, GXI, and Vengeance, which a lot of people would remind because I'm strongest Godzilla, obviously. We saw that Massacre and Maszilla are very close. Massacre is high complex multiversal, and Maszilla, correct me if I'm wrong, is multiversal base and thermal/burning is high complex multiversal. Now we get the GXI Godzilla pre-evolved. GXI pre-evolved in part 1, which we'll be using Godzilla vs. Destroy Godzilla and Godzilla vs. the Imposter part 1. Part 1, GXI Godzilla is only city level, which is pretty pathetic. Now, in part 2, which is Godzilla vs. the Imposter, which is technically a sequel that takes place sometime after that, Godzilla x Imposter Godzilla is around Outerversal. But he's not Outerversal to start with. And yes, it says on the scaling video, but that's his full power. Back then, his full power could get him to Outerversal. But we're going to use his base, Multiversal. His multiversal form. So, when he first starts fighting, he fought Godzilla, who I confirmed was attacked by some being that corrupted his dimension. And this was enough to erase his entire timeline with his own Godzilla, erasing the entire multiverse and hyperverse. There are multiple hyperverses, infinite ones of them. Erasing that entire timeline. So Godzilla got corrupted by this energy and turned into how he is. Him just existing in the GXI universe warped and endangered the hyperverse to a point where him, when he first spawned in, was shattering and warping reality. And also, the crazy thing is when he got sucked back into his own dimension that was already destroyed, he was also warping reality. He was getting his power. His power was insanely high. It was not stable. It was sucking him back to where he came from, physically destroying him. Godzilla would come back after that. He's able to tank some of Godzilla's beams, and Godzilla's beams are universe / all the way up to Godzillaverse ending. And the Godzillaverse consists of all, the stop motion Godzillas, with the, not hyper motion, but stop motion with the, let's say, Battle Royale Godzilla, Godzilla vs. Ava Godzilla, all of those. And in Godzilla vs. Ava, both Godzilla and Ava were fighting, and they destroyed the Godzillaverse, the entire one. Which is going to be interesting with the new GXI feats that happened earlier yesterday. But Ava Godzilla and the Ava did do that. And they are more powerful than GXI Godzilla. All the way from Godzilla Destroy to Godzilla X Imposter Part 2. They're more powerful than him of that, which would make some complications. But Godzilla was able to destroy everything. Everything. So when Godzilla was able to destroy everything, what the creator fixed everything. We saw him. We didn't see him in Godzilla as the Imposter. That was at his full power. But still, Ava Godzilla is much stronger than that, meaning that he destroyed enough that it became a problem to revive, but didn't destroy everything like Ava Godzilla. So at highest and base form, he's fighting against Godzilla, who's been more powerful, and could get to high multiversal to complex outerversal to 5D in base form for Godzilla. Godzilla was able to tank some of Godzilla's beams, but would be killed by them occasionally. Godzilla's beams are able to blow Godzilla up, which is a problem for him. Godzilla has the same stats as Monster vs. Godzilla in combat. He's like a buffed or supercharged Monster vs. Godzilla, but far more powerful. He has the same speed, and his abilities that will be going over the same abilities as Monster vs. Godzilla, same combat abilities. He has the Atomic Pulse, which he can use without being injured. He has the full power Atomic Pulse / Breath, which is a beam that creates a massive Atomic Pulse that destroys everything. The Atomic Breath, which is Chervonic Radiation, which is but this one is much faster than the speed of light. He can also react to beams too. He can run at 300 miles per hour, or a little over it sometimes. His size and weight, his height is around 393 feet, or 120 or 119.8 meters. His weight is around the same as Monsterverse. It might be a little bit less. You'd have to go back and check the stat videos. Monsterverse's official weight, but it's around Monsterverse Godzilla's weight. He can kind of jump. And he's the same length as Monsterverse. He can use his tail whip, but he doesn't have a ton of abilities. Now for Maszilla. Maszilla is 200 something meters long, being at least 600. I don't remember his actual length, but you'll have to go back to that because his official stats are on someone else's channel for like length and height. But he's around 393 feet tall, same height as GXI Godzilla at this time. He probably has the same speed as Monsterverse, but the thing that makes him different is his abilities. He has the atomic breath, tail beam, back beam, ground spikes, and thermal mode. And he has the atomic pulse. Atomic/thermal pulse. And he has another form, but we're not going to talk about that. He's not as full potential yet, that's all I'm going to say. He's still getting more powerful. So, if we want in the stats, abilities, we'll go to Maszilla. Their ability would probably go to Maszilla. As much as GXI is durable in this, he's still killed by Godzilla's weaker beams. I'm back. Godzilla's weaker beams, which are his beams that are not the multiversal destroying beams, because his beams were able to do that too, but the beams that can slice into him and kill him. So Maszilla wins in abilities and durability. Strength. GXI takes this easily. GXI is able to lift up Godzilla, who weighs infinite amount of tons. Godzilla is different, as his body does have blood and all that stuff in it, but he's still a singularity void. He is infinite amount of weight. That's just how he's built. The way the corruption worked is it made his weight infinite. It's really weird. I'll have to get into it in a Godzilla explaining video next time, but he is infinite weight. Godzilla is able to casually throw him, but sometimes with trouble too. So now it's 2-1. Maszilla taking abilities and durability, while GXI Great Ball taking strength. Speed is probably equal because Maszilla probably has the same speed as Monsterverse, and so does GXI. Now we have size and weight equal, putting it at 4-3. Now IQ and battle IQ, I could give battle IQ to GXI because he's fought more, and give them both equal. So we're gonna have 4-4 or 5-4 because GXI, they're both pretty much equal. So it's at 5-5 currently. Now they're doing the kill. We have hacks. Hacks and region. Region goes to easily GXI. He at 6-5. Now hacks. Who has the better hacks? Well, I won't really give this one since it kind of region is basically the same thing for hacks for GXI. GXI has the ability to die. And he's died in Godzilla X Imposter. You've seen it. But he comes back and you cannot kill him, which is a problem. He should win hacks, giving it at least 7-5. But that might not win him the fight. Because we got power. GXI is very powerful in base, but he's not that much. He's far weaker than Godzilla. Much weaker. It's only when he gets to his full power, which is our version of high 15D, high 15 dimensional, which is when things change. His full power is easily able to take Godzilla's beam and beat him. Full power GXI scales above mass, but the thermal, which is high complex multiversal, and I could get him the outer versal, would be different. So, I have my scenarios. Scenario 1, stats don't lie. GXI does win in stats. He barely beats Maszilla in base form. GXI would beat base Maszilla in the same difficulty. Now, Maszilla in thermal, which he has invincibility, which is going to be interesting because GXI can't die, I would have to leave it a tie, or Maszilla winning. Because he could pummel GXI and beat him down. But then again, GXI can't die, so it would be eventually a tie until he evolves, which won't be fair, but we're not using it evolved. So leaving that a tie. Now we go with the higher end for GXI. It's full power versus thermal. Maszilla is invincible in thermal, so would full power kill him? I'm not sure. But more times out of done, Maszilla would beat GXI if they fought. Maszilla would end up killing GXI over and over. Maszilla having the better durability and feats in there. So the winner for this one, which is kind of my first loss on the channel, is Maszilla. Maszilla wins in 2 out of the 3 scenarios. Maszilla wins. Actually not 2 out of 3, but like base GXI beats base Maszilla high diff. Now full power, both Maszilla at full power or thermal mode versus GXI Godzilla in full power. Maszilla could win with an insane diff. And then you have that tie. But again, I will have to give the win to Maszilla. He has better hacks. Not hacks and like coming back from death, but he has more abilities and hacks that could beat GXI, overwhelm him, causing him to call for help like the Imposter, or just evolve, which we're not using. So in the end, Maszilla wins. I hope you guys liked the video, and I'm glad that you guys like that I'm doing more versus vids. And what do you guys want next? Tell me what you think in the comments of this video, and what versus matches would you like to see next? Who would you like to see next on the channel? Fight who? And it's been me, Shinji Akari Godzilla Verse, and peace.